Good morning, traders. It is Friday, June 28th, 2019, the end of yet another trading week. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, reminding you to hit that thumbs up button, give us a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel so that you know what we're doing, what we're up to in the near future, and also, of course, make sure you throw any feedback you have down in the comments below. Any questions, any comments, any other things you'd like to see analyzed, or anything I can do to help you in your trading, please do let me know and I'll do what I can. All right, with that, let's start by taking a look at the S&P 500. And S&P has been moving up nicely and then gave us a lovely little pullback. And at the moment anyway, previous to that, I was kind of looking at this as being the end of wave one and a very, very shallow wave two. But frankly, I was never real happy with that. And I had that plotted here as the 60-minute 1 and 2. And I wasn't happy with that. It wasn't a very strong pullback. It wasn't a very clean pullback. And it wasn't a very deep pullback. It was extremely shallow. Now that we've had this second one, I am liking that better for being the end of wave one and the wave two. It is a stronger pullback. We've got a decent oscillator reading on that, and it's a little bit cleaner. It is still quite shallow, though. You can see here that it didn't even get to the 38.2 retracement. It only got to about halfway of the 38.2. So that is a very shallow retracement, and that would suggest that the next move up is likely to be a strong one. So if this is, in fact, the end of wave two, then we can expect a pretty strong 3 from here. However, there's also a decent chance that what we're really looking at is an A, a B, and C yet to come, which could get us down into this area. So it really could go either way right now. It is not overwhelmingly leaning one way or the other. I can certainly see 5 waves down here and then an A, B, C up, and then potentially another move down. So we'll have to see what the market wants to do right now, though. I definitely am preferring this as the end of wave one. The only question now is wave two done yet? So we might have a bit more downside to come if this market breaks higher this morning. And then I would be inclined to say that the move is probably done. Right this instant, though, I'm seeing that we've got price kind of double topping right there. Oscillator slightly divergent, a little bit weaker. Actually, you could even say it's sort of a triple topping there. So it could be done. We could certainly be looking at A, B, C, and we're finished with that move up. So yeah, we'll have to see exactly what might be going on with this, but it's kind of feeling right now like we could have some further downside. Like I said, if this market breaks higher and holds above, if it breaks higher, comes back and tests, and then heads higher from there, then I would be inclined to say, yep, this move is done, and we are now heading upwards into a wave 3. All right, let's take a look at the RTY, the Russell 2000, and the Russell had a more significant pullback for sure. And it, to me, on a smaller time scale, it kind of looks like we've already got a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And I say that based on looking at the 60-minute chart, looking at the waves inside the waves. And to me, it looks like we've got this one here. This corresponds with that right there. And we've got a nice oscillator reading at that point, as well as a nice A, B, C. And so that looks like a good wave 2 to me. And then this whole thing here being wave 3, because we've got a very strong oscillator reading at the end of that, and then a nice divergence. So that suggests that this was the point where that wave pretty much ran out of steam. And then we had a really solid pullback. Nice oscillator reading on that, and that looks like a good clear wave 4 to me. It also came just to kiss the top of wave 1, which is something else that happens quite frequently. So I am liking this for the 1, 2, 3, 4, and now wave 5. And so we'll have to watch and see, does wave 5 double top there, or is it able to push past the wave 3 and give us some momentum to the upside beyond? We'll have to wait and see, but right now, anyway, the direction is up. We'll want to be careful about this, of course, because we could easily have a little bit of a pullback. We actually already have price kind of stopping there and the oscillator getting a little bit weaker. So we might have a little brief pullback here in this initial move. This kind of looks like on a smaller time scale to me, like we've got a wave 1, wave 2, and maybe a wave 3. Maybe wave 4 is still to come. Possibly wave 3 ended here, and we've got A, B, C. Something like that. So right now we need to be kind of cautious here about any long positions. I'd want to wait and give the market a little bit of a chance to establish itself, what it wants to do this morning, which direction it wants to head. And if it starts heading down, then I'd be inclined to say that we're probably looking at an A, B, C, and there could be a little bit more downside to come out of this wave 2 the wave 4 rather, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a last wave 5 up, just to push and see how high it can get. And again, can it get to double top here, or is it out of steam? We'll have to wait and see. All right, crude oil is trying to hang on to these gains, but it's really not been able to do much. It is going very sideways. You can see it very clearly here on the 60-minute chart for the last couple of days, just very tight range, very sideways, and likely going to give us a retracement. That would make sense. If this is a wave 1, 2, 3, then we need a wave 4, and then we could have a wave 5 up before we turn around and continue to the downside. So we'll have to give this a chance to see what's going on. It's not yet clear, but it does not look like this market is able to move much higher right now. Certainly, we've got a very, very different oscillator right now. If the oscillator has just been getting much, much, much weaker as it goes, and right now it's just barely hanging above the 0 line. So market is looking very tired, very overextended right now. This is kind of a parabolic straight up move, and markets can't sustain that for any length of time. So I think a pullback is by far the most likely scenario here, unless there's some really shocking geopolitical event or something that happens in the Middle East. That can always override any sorts of technicals and can make the price do crazy things. So provided nothing like that happens, I'm looking for this market to give up and start heading lower at the moment in the near term. All right, gold has also been hanging on to its own parabolic move. It has shot up and got over this 1415 level, got all the way up to 1440 before it pulled back, and right now is exactly at that level. That is right where price is stuck right now. But notice on the daily, we do not have anything even remotely resembling a divergence. We've got just an incredibly strong oscillator building its strength. This definitely looks to me like there is continuation possible to the upside, and it's wanting to get there. Right now on the 60-minute, it took a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a correction here, and now possibly looking to go higher. Obviously, we have to take out this high for that to be the case, or take out this low, and that it could be follow through to the downside. But definitely on the daily basis, the bigger time frame, I don't see any signs of trouble right now. It's looking like there is more room ahead for gold. So we'll have to just see what the market does. But right now, that is where things are looking. You can see very clearly the 50 SMA has hooked straight up. But these kinds of parabolic moves, just like I mentioned a second ago with crude oil, these can't sustain. They just don't hold for long. So a pullback is certainly in order. And I would love to see a nice retracement, maybe come down to the 1380-ish level, something like that, and then establish a higher low and march higher from there. So we'll have to see what happens. I think there could be a little bit of downside ahead, but I don't see any major signs of trouble. I just see a suggestion of a normal, healthy pullback, and then there's room to go higher from here. All right, let's take a peek at natural gas. And natural gas is definitely wanting to head higher, wanting to finally put in that lowest low. We're not there yet. Right now, we're still having increasing momentum to the downside. We do have a bit of a divergence here in that the oscillator was not able to go lower, even though price did go significantly lower. So we might be signaling that we've hit a bottom here already. That would be a good thing. Certainly the MACD has already crossed its signal line to the upside. So now if this is a new move up, we're looking for this to pull back, give us a wave 2, give us a higher low, and then we can head up for a wave 3. So that is what we're really looking for to get bullish in natural gas. Otherwise, it's really just either you're playing the short side because we're still in lower lows and lower highs, or it's a wait and see. You have to see if this level is taken out or not. Right now, oscillator on the 60-minute getting weaker. You can see price has been moving up, but the oscillator has been moving down. So that is a divergence and is looking like price is a little weak in the near term, but that would fit. Again, if we're going to get a wave 1 and a wave 2 to give us that first higher low, then that would fit. Right here is a perfect place to see a pullback. So we need to watch for that. Don't want to jump the gun or anything and jump in too soon, but definitely keep an eye out for this to pull back, but not break this level. And if we see that and then the market starts to head higher, then I think there's a good chance we've put in our first higher low and there's upside to come. All right, let's take a peek at Bitcoin, see what's going on there. And Bitcoin has actually done something very, very nice. It had gone completely parabolic, of course, and just straight up, absolutely straight up. And then it had this very sharp, very quick pullback. And that pullback is actually looking really good to me for an ABC correction of this entire wave. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is this deep enough? I mean, there's a very nice A, B, C. However, if we look at the daily chart and we do a retracement of this entire move, because we're thinking that this is 5 cycles, then really our 38.2 is here, 61.8 is there. So really we'd ideally be looking for a pullback into that level, and we only got down to there. We got to a bit above the 38.2. So we have a question we have to ask ourselves. Is this far enough? Is the pullback really done? Is that ABC? Or is this whole thing just still forming a wave A down? Or maybe it's actually done with a wave A. Maybe this whole thing is wave A, and then we have wave B up, and now we're going to have wave C down to get us down into that area. It could really go either way at the moment. Right this instant anyway, this hour, it's looking like the market is weak, wanting to head down. We've got a very large bearish candle, kind of a bearish engulfing right there. So it's possible that what we really have here is a wave A down, a wave B up, and we're going to have another wave C coming down, and that could get us closer to this 38.2 level. So might be a little bit more downside to come in Bitcoin. If so, just watch for a nice divergence on the oscillator. Watch for wave C to come down, possibly break this level and hit a little bit lower, but with the oscillator being significantly higher. So we see that we'll have a pretty good sign that this ABC correction is done. And now the next major move up is ready to start in Bitcoin. So fasten your seatbelts. It could be a bumpy ride. All right. Take a peek at the S&P 500 again real quick. Nothing really has changed at this moment. Market is up overnight, but that could be just it's running out of steam now. They push it up as far as they could, and now we're going to sell off and head a bit lower. We just don't know yet. So we'll have to see what the opening bell gives us in 30 minutes and give it that first half hour to an hour, let the market kind of settle it out, get its wiggles out, and establish a direction for the day. And, never forget, if the market is just moving sideways, not really going anywhere, you don't have to trade. You don't have to trade. Trading sideways markets is extremely challenging for most people. If the market is not really moving, it's difficult to just jump in, jump out, and scalp these very small trades. You can do it, but it's a lot harder than jumping onto a nice solid move and a wave 3 or something and then just riding it for a good long while. So keep that in mind. You do not have to trade. Now, today is Friday the 28th, so we've got that, G20, I think it's called, meeting going on. China and all that stuff. So who knows how that could impact things. The market could have some sort of reaction to that, especially if there's something bad happens, somebody storms off the conversation and walks off the talks, or any kinds of things can happen. Politics have gotten very volatile lately, and the market is reflecting that as well. So just be prepared. There could be some craziness coming in the markets very soon. All right, that's it for me. Again, I'm Jonathan Van Clute with Stock Navigators, reminding you to hit that thumbs up button on the video. Just go ahead and do that right now, please. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so that you can be kept informed on what we're doing in the future. And also throw any feedback you got for me in the comments below. Let me know if there's any symbols that you would like analyzed, or if there's any questions you have or problems you're having in your trading. Anything I can do to try to help your trading, let me know, and I will do what I can. All right, that is it for me today. I hope you have a great weekend ahead and can join us back here again for Monday morning. Now, time for me to go get ready for our premium trading room. So I'll say hi to everybody who's in there this morning. And the rest of you, I'll catch you on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.